Hey, welcome to the Explainer. When you first look at them, ancient Greek temples can kinda all blur together, right? But what if I told you there's a secret language hidden right there in the stone? Well, today we're gonna teach you how to read it. So, have you ever wondered what really sets one Greek temple apart from another? I mean, besides just how big it is or which god it was built for. The answer, a lot of the time, comes down to this really elegant system, a kind of code in how they arranged their columns. And it's absolutely a pattern language. Seriously, once you see it, you're never going to be able to unsee it. So let's just dive right in and we'll turn you into a Greek temple pattern spotting pro. Okay, so first things first, let's start at the entrance. The way the columns are set up at the front, what's called the portico, that's basically the temple's first impression. It's how it says hello, and it really sets the vibe for the whole building. All right, first step is a style called inantas. This is one of the oldest, most foundational designs out there. So what are anta? They're basically just the ends of the main walls, and they stick out a little to frame the columns on this kind of recessed porch. Take a look at how the temple's own walls are doing the framing here. See that? It creates this very contained, really structural, almost kind of modest entrance. It's just a super elegant integrated design. Now, with the pro-style design, we're literally taking a step forward. The columns now stand completely out in front of the building, and what that does is create a way more pronounced, much grander entrance. You can really see the difference, can't you? The columns are totally detached. They form their own distinct portico that juts out from the main building. It feels like a much more open invitation, doesn't it? Okay, for this next one, amphipro style, there's a little trick to remembering it. The Greek prefix amphi, it just means on both sides. So all you have to do is picture a pro-style temple and then imagine it's been perfectly mirrored on the back. And this comparison just lays it out perfectly. A pro-style temple pours all its grandeur into the entrance, right? But an amphipro-style temple, it's all about creating this powerful sense of balance and symmetry. It makes the whole building feel just as impressive from the back as it does from the front. But wait. What happens if the temple isn't even rectangular? I mean, not every sacred space stuck to that same old blueprint. Architects were creative. And for those unique, circular buildings, they had a totally elegant solution. And that's where the tholos comes in. This is a complete break from all the straight lines we've been talking about. A circular plan like this creates a completely different feeling, There's no single front door. Instead, you've got this continuous, flowing ring of columns that kind of invites you in from every single angle. It really puts all the focus right on the center. All right, so we've got the front and the back down. Now let's take a walk around the sides. We're going to see how the side columns help build out the complete picture of the temple's exterior. And here's another one of those super helpful prefixes for you, peri. It's Greek for around, so pretty simple, right? A peripteral temple is just one that's completely surrounded by a row of columns. Yeah, this is the one. This is that classic, iconic image that pops into most of our heads when we think of a big, grand Greek temple. Like the Parthenon. It's that majestic forest of columns wrapping around all four sides. Okay, so here are two key terms to know, pitron and pteroma. The relationship between them is actually pretty simple. The pitron is the colonnade itself, the line of columns. And by existing, the pitron creates the pteroma, which is that open-air walkway you can stroll through between the columns and the inner wall. Now, let's meet its clever cousin, the pseudo-peripetrel. That prefix pseudo means false, and that is the perfect word for it. This style gives you the look of a full colonnade, but, surprise, the columns on the sides are actually attached right to the main wall. So you might be asking, why would they do that? Well, this comparison makes it super clear. A real peripteral design gives you that walkable passage. But the pseudo-peripteral, that was a genius solution for temples built in, say, a crowded city, where a full walkway just wasn't going to happen. And it wasn't only about saving space either. It created a totally different aesthetic, this feeling of solid, powerful walls that are just punctuated by the rhythm of the columns, instead of that lighter, more open feel. Okay, so there you have it. You've got the vocabulary now. Inantes, pro-style, peripetral. With these building blocks, you can seriously start to read the story of pretty much any Greek temple you come across. So let's put this new knowledge to the test. Imagine you're standing in Athens right now, looking up at its most famous landmark. How would you describe it using our new architectural language? Well, you could now confidently say that's a paraparatrol temple. You'd know that the whole colonnade is the Puron, and it's creating that amazing walkway, the Pyramida. See? You're not just looking at a bunch of columns anymore. You're actually seeing a deliberate, brilliant architectural system at play. And that's the whole point. Every single choice, from a simple Enantius entrance all the way up to a grand peripeptral colonnade, was a conscious decision. It was a choice about space, about grandeur, about the kind of experience they wanted to create. And that is the real power of understanding this incredible language written in stone.